Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Arsenal are getting closer and closer to an agreement between them and Nottingham Forest for Edin Dzeko. The fee is going to be around £30 million. Forest have decided to sign Edin Dzeko over Santiago Jimenez, who is actually going to be more expensive than Eddie. We are going to talk about a player that has agreed personal terms with Arsenal, and that is Joan Garcia. According to Fabrizio Romano, a deal is in place on personal terms between Arsenal and Joan Garcia. Now, we do have a problem, and that problem is that Ramsdale is the key to Joan Garcia coming in, and the quicker Arsenal can sign, can sell Ramsdale, that's the quicker this deal for Joan Garcia can be done. But Arsenal are very confident that Ramsdale could actually leave at the end of the window. That is why we have already agreed personal terms with Joan Garcia. And what is the latest on Mikel Merino? What is the latest on what we are trying to do? Will time be enough? That's a very big question right now. Arsenal trying to get around one or two players in and then sell some. Will time be enough? This week, again, we have not seen a done deal yet. Next week, are we going to see a done deal? Probably, potentially. Now, there is a debate on Raheem Sterling, and a few people are saying that Arsenal should sign Raheem Sterling, and a few people are saying that Arsenal should not sign Raheem Sterling. I want to know your thoughts on Raheem Sterling before I do a video on him. There are two players actually I want us to talk about: Raheem Sterling and Noni Madueke. Both of them are Chelsea. Madueke is, of course, the younger one. He would be a much better fit for what we want to do, bring in someone that provides cover and competition for soccer. But Sterling as well, his experience and the fact that he's worked with Mikel Arteta, could that be a factor? Let me know in the comment box below. But for now, let's dive into the video. This video is brought to you by KiwiBet, and they're saying you can now bet on all games, Premier League, Italian Serie A, French League 1 without worry. They pay you quick, and you can deposit quickly. You can also withdraw quickly, and I tell you, you will get all your money without any charges if you bet with KiwiBet. How about that? So let's get into it. Let's start off with the big story on Edin Dzeko. This has been broken by David Ornstein. Probably you've seen it already. David Ornstein has come out and confirmed that Edin Dzeko is close to going to Nottingham Forest. Forest are close to agreeing a deal with Arsenal for Eddie. Nottingham Forest are also progressing on talks of over personal terms with a 25-year-old. Top striker candidate has revealed a little bit earlier. Negotiations continue after 25 million offer was rejected by Arsenal. They want more towards 30 to 35. But now the deal is close. It is getting closer than ever. Of course, yesterday we talked about this. The deal was prepared, for Edin Dzeko, and Arsenal felt 25 million was not good enough, but they felt that there was something there with Nottingham Forest. Forest have been trying to act on two fronts. They've been trying to negotiate with Feyenoord and Arsenal as well. With Feyenoord, they wanted to think they could get Santiago Jimenez, who's also a very, very quality striker, by the way. And I think the advantage with Santiago Jimenez is if they could get him, they're getting a player that is not on massive wages as compared to Edin Dzeko. Dzeko could probably need to drop some of the wages he's earning at the moment, because it's a very, very, very crazy deal. He's earning around 120,000 per week. Maybe Forest don't want to pay that. Maybe they don't want much that. We wait to see. But at the moment, Arsenal are in a very good position. Again, Edu, this is a bit of a masterclass. If he gets 30 to 35 million for Edin Dzeko, 40 million euros already for Emil Smith-Rowe. Yeah, maybe these are players we could have got more 1 year ago, 2 years ago. But at the moment, I think that is their true representation of their value. Edin Dzeko also means that Arsenal are going to press ahead and get a forward. I've seen the Athletic still writing that Arsenal, to get a forward, they need to get rid of Edin Dzeko and Reiss Nelson. Now, Edin Dzeko at the moment is not a big problem. We can get rid of him. We can, we have an avenue where we can actually send him. The problem is Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson has been linked with a couple of clubs: Bournemouth, Newcastle, Leicester City, and a couple of others. But we have not really found a solution for Reiss Nelson. Are we really going to find a solution for Reiss Nelson? Probably yes, probably no. But I'm here to report to you whatever happens. One thing I want to say is, if a forward depends on Eddie going and Reece Nelson going, then the forward signing is going to be either a deadline day signing, or we might not see it, because I don't see Arsenal move on Eddie. That is going to happen, but I don't see us move on Reece Nelson, as well. I think this might be a trick by Arsenal to say we have failed to move on the players that we don't want to use in the final third, and therefore we are going to sign a striker or a winger next summer. Now, my problem with that is we are working with the Manchester City machine that have brought in Savio. They have also brought back Ilkay Gundogan, and whatever that means. Listen, whatever that means. It still means that they've added quality. It still means that they've added depth to their squad. We saw Savio starting ahead of Phil Foden in the last game, and what that tells you that Pep Guardiola has got a big asset. Arsenal. He can choose any asset he wants. He can choose any weapon he wants, and it's gonna work. So I would love to say, if Arsenal really think not selling Edin Dzeko and Reece Nelson doesn't allow us to get in a forward player, that is a huge mistake. We cannot allow to compromise right now when we are very close to seeing what Manchester City have been enjoying in the last 4, 5 years, 6 years. If City win it this year, I'm telling you, this is Arsenal's last year. This should be our last year. I think it's very hard to motivate this team. It will be very hard to motivate this team if we don't win it 3 times in a row. It's going to be very hard. Otherwise, it will be easier to motivate the team after winning it. I mean, you've got to tell them that after winning it, we've got to defend it. And every player would love to defend it. So I think this year either begins Arsenal's era of domination, or it marks an end to a period where we have been woodwinking and working with mediocrity, thinking that we are going somewhere. So Arsenal not getting a forward, not even a winger, because Reece Nelson and Edin Dzeko have not been sold in time. That is a lame excuse, very lame excuse, especially with the number of players that we have sold, with the amount of money that we have made this summer. I don't think failing to sell one player is a reason for us to go, listen, look, we cannot get in a winger because we have failed to sell one player. It would be a weak excuse. Let's talk about the personal terms that have been agreed. Arsenal have agreed personal terms with another player, and I'm glad to say that player is Joan Garcia. Now, Joan Garcia. Fabrizio says that Joan Garcia patiently waiting for Arsenal to find a solution for Aaron Ramsdale, as personal terms have already been agreed. But at first, Arsenal will first sign Mikel Merino as the first step. Now, this was revealed a little bit earlier on, 20th August, when Fabrizio said that Arsenal have already reached a verbal agreement with Spanish GK Joan Garcia on personal terms. He's the priority target for Arsenal to replace Aaron Ramsdale if he leaves in the final 10 days. Espanyol are aware of AFC interest, but no official bid yet. It still depends on the Aaron Ramsdale situation. This one is a story I knew about from Fabrizio, but it really didn't make any sense because I didn't see Ramsdale leave. Now, again, there's a big possibility, right? There's a big possibility that Ramsdale will leave. I said this right from May, right from April, that I can see Ramsdale leaving Arsenal. I don't think he's going to stay. I don't think he should stay. I don't think we deserve to keep him, in this system where he's a second choice goalkeeper. I don't think he wants to be a second choice goalkeeper. I think he wants to be a first team, goalkeeper. So I tell you, Nottingham Forest, after sending Edin Dzeko, how about you come back and get Ramsdale? Because Nottingham Forest, they do not have a proper goalkeeper. There's no question about that. Now, Wolverhampton Wanderers are the latest team to come in for Aaron Ramsdale. And this story coming from Fabrizio saying Joan Garcia has agreed personal terms. He's waiting to hear from Arsenal, and Arsenal are also waiting to get the final word on Ramsdale's situation. That means there is something there. You don't agree personal terms with the other player if you're unsure that you're going to move this one on. So I think whatever happens, Aaron Ramsdale, as I spoke in May, as I spoke in April, he will not be an Arsenal player come the new season is already here. The new season is already here. But come the end of the transfer window, I don't think he's an Arsenal player. I don't think he will be an Arsenal player. Do I want him to be an Arsenal player? Obviously not. Obviously not. I don't think Ramsdale is happy at Arsenal. I don't think Ramsdale deserves to be unhappy at Arsenal. Let him go find the club that trusts him, a club that believes in him, and a club that can actually give him good football. So, Joan Garcia obviously is a player that The Athletic, David Ornstein, and Fabrizio now have been talking about for quite some time. And that tells you that Arsenal knew Ramsdale was going to leave a couple of maybe months ago, maybe weeks ago. I don't know. And they have already started preparing. Now, this is a very, very good move. The problem with this deal is, are we really going to sign this guy on deadline day while Espanyol are looking? What if Espanyol say, we are not selling to you right now? I mean, he's got a release clause. Are we going to trigger his release clause? That means, if we trigger his release clause, that means that Arsenal will have signed a second choice goalkeeper for around 20 million. Again, it doesn't make any sense. So it's a complicated situation. Personal terms are great, yes, but how fast can we move, Ramsdale? How fast can we move Ramsdale? First, we don't want a loan deal. Second, we want 25 million plus. It's a weird deal. It's a complicated deal. So for me, the only way Arsenal can move on Ramsdale quickly is if we agree to a loan deal, potentially with an obligation to buy. That would be much easier. But I can see Joan Garcia. I've not watched him. I've never seen him play in my life. But I can see him as a lead contender, as all the top outlets have been reporting about it. Now, let's talk about time. But before we talk about time, actually, let's first talk about Real Sociedad and Mikel Moreno. Real Sociedad are stalling. They're taking their time. They're buying time on the Mikel Moreno deal. Now, I am not sure if they're taking time in order for them to find a replacement, or they're taking time just to make sure that they can keep him. Because it doesn't make any sense. Officially, the club has come out and said, we understand where the player wants to be. We know the position in which the player is, and therefore we will let him go. Nice, good. However, at the moment, they're the same club wasting a lot of time, taking their time to make decisions and taking their time to respond to Arsenal. What I want to say with Sociedad is, again, they're smart. I don't think they're a dumb club. They're smart. They are very, very smart management. And whatever they are doing, it's really, really planned, and it's planned out very well. But what I would say here is Arsenal have themselves to blame. We have ourselves to blame. This is a deal, like the president of Real Sociedad said, we wish Arsenal had come earlier. This is a deal that would have been much easier in June. This is a deal that would have been much easier in July. And the fact that Arsenal have waited until the end of August to, pressurize Sociedad, why would you do that? Imagine a club comes in right now and they place 300 million for us for Bukayo Saka. Even if you're going to accept that money. And maybe Saka says, listen, I've been given a good opportunity to go to Real Madrid. You're given that 300 million. Let me go. But you don't have a replacement right there and then. And that's what Sociedad is saying. You've come late, so we are going to take our time. We are going to make you wait. If you want, wait. If you don't want, wait. But the deal is pretty much done. Listen, paperwork, when it comes to Arsenal, paperwork and add-ons, that takes another whole month. I don't know whether we have another month of our time, but that always takes another whole month at Arsenal. But anyway, it's good to know that the Mikel Moreno deal is coming, but we're just having a few a few moments of stalling by Sociedad, who think they are genius playmakers. So there's a debate on Twitter about Raheem Sterling and Money Madueke. I want your thoughts in the comment box below. Would you take Raheem Sterling at Arsenal? Would you take Noni Madueke at Arsenal? Who would you take between the two and why? I want your thoughts because I'm going to be publishing the next video about this topic. So I want us to talk about time. Like, is time enough really? Charlie Patino has left Arsenal for 1 million. That's okay. But we still have other players to move on. Ramsdale, Nketiah, Reece Nelson. And it looks like, as far as I understand, these players moving on is very, very key and it's very, very crucial to our transfer plan. So are we really sure that we can get these players out of the door within the time frame that we have? And are we really sure that when we get them out of the door, we can actually sign the players that we want with the remaining time? It's a very big question. I would love to know your thoughts. I would love to know your opinions in the comment box below. So let me know.